Hi, my name is Joe. Today, I'm giving you guys a plant tour. Nobody asked for this, but I want to do it. I have been collecting, I have been obsessing over, I have been taking care of plants, indoor plants for like 9 months. Hasn't even been a full year. So I'm still very much new to this. I started with outdoor container gardening. I can show that off if anybody wants to see that. But today I'm doing my indoor plants. I don't have a ton, but I have a lot compared to the average person. So let's get going. Ooh. Okay, first we're gonna start over here in front of my mantle fireplace area that we don't use in the summer. So my boyfriend's mom very nicely gave us this shelf for free, and he very nicely let me put it in front of the mantle and is letting me cover it in plants. And I have actually rearranged the plants. It used to have more, but I have rearranged things to where I have more space for more plants. But anyway, down here I have with my alligator. Is he an alligator or a crocodile? I don't know. My butterfly Lego Lego set and my beetle. It's a beetle. Anyway, this is a greyhound peperomia. I recently got this one on clearance from Lowe's. It was dying, and I have brought it back, and it is doing pretty okay. I think there's like 3 different plants in here technically. It's okay, I'm being watered. So yeah, this is a greyhound peperomia. I do not know scientific names. Sorry. All right, this whole top shelf up here I consider like my money plant shelf, even though some of these peperomias are not considered money plants. I think they look similar to the Chinese money plant, so I stick them up here. This is a peperomia hope, which I think is a succulent, getting some new growth. This one got a little leggy. It's further from the grow lights than like this one, or this one is some new growth over here. I like peperomias a whole lot. I love the circular leaves. So yeah, peperomia hope. I have 2 Chinese money plants. This one I've had for longer, and I neglected at one point, and it only got down to 1 leaf, 1 whatever. So yeah, this one's doing a lot better. Also has some new growth coming in. This one I got recently for $5 from the Lidl. So excited about that. It's doing okay. I think it also has some new growth coming in down there at the bottom. So yeah, Chinese money plants, no idea what the scientific name for this is, so don't ask me. This one, is one of my favorite peperomias. It is the watermelon, I believe, peperomia. I got this from a Pike's nursery near me. There's like a very tiny, teeny tiny new growth coming in at the bottom. It's like teeny tiny. Hold on. That right there. Can you see? I don't know. It doesn't, whatever. Look how pretty! And the pink pedules, I think that's what that's called, with like the stripy boy. Yeah, I love this guy. And he's got a little bee pot. Another peperomia. I think this one was like a satin something. I also saved this one from, maybe not saved, but no, where did I get this one from? No, this one came from Lowe's too. It was in clearance. People be neglecting the peperomias. Anyway, and the last peperomia, the peperomia raindrop. I freaked out when I saw this one because of how big the leaves are, and I'd never seen this shape before with the raindrop. The new leaves, I think this one needs a little more humidity. This leaf is kind of curling. So we're still learning. Collecting too much and learning. But like, look at that guy. So cool. Money tree, and look at all that new growth. This is my, I think, becoming one of my favorite plants that I have. My mom had one in her kitchen and it just got so big. And when I got it, it was only like these leaves. Like I only got this one like recently. And then brought it home, fertilized it, repotted it into this bad boy. And look at that, new growth. Okay, we are done with the shelf. Next, there's still plants over here. But next, this is Chuck. He's the only one who's named. Ooh, Chuck is a bonsai. And as you'll see from his tag, is my emotional support plant. Because I got Chuck, look how big he is, 5 years ago. He was my first houseplant ever, before I ever even truly cared about houseplants. And I got him when my boyfriend and I started dating, like a month into our relationship. And I was like, look, we can raise this plant together. And I have neglected him a lot. And my boyfriend has taken care of him a lot throughout the years. And now that I am becoming more into plants, more educated, whatever, more mindful, more caring of a woman, I am taking better care of him. And I don't really trim him. I know a lot of people, most people, trim their bonsais often, but I like how he looks. I go through and I trim the bad leaves, but like, this is Chuck. Oh, and this is Mabel. Hi, Mabel. Me, Chuck, and Mabel. Me, Chuck, and Mabel. Me, Chuck, and Mabel. Okay, she just wants attention. Ooh. Next up to the mantle, we have Lego plants. Oh, Lego plants. Wow. These guys are super picky. They need very little water. Look at this cup that I thrifted that I had a plant in, but I took the plant out and I'm gonna put another plant, like, you know, just sit it in there. But look at the freaking... That was a scary noise. It just came from my kitchen. Anyway, we're moving up to the top mantle now. Which I said recently that I have moved things around to make more space. And you'll see why I've moved things around. This mantle used to be a lot fuller of plants, and now it's not. But this is a neon pothos. This guy's reaching for the light. I recently trimmed him somewhere. Oh, it's over here. He doesn't have any new... Oh, there is the tiniest nodule of new growth over here. So, yay, Slay. But yeah, I love neon pothos. I like how bright they are compared to a lot of my other plants, and they like stay looking like new growth. Got it in this cute little pink pot. Yeah. Aww. Next we have another pothos that I recently cut back because it was growing crazy. So he's very small. This was in a, what is that called? Jade and Pearls pothos. Pearl and Jades. I always call it Pearly Jade. Pearls and Jade pothos. This was in that, and it had like a couple variegated leaves, but the leaves started reverting back. So I took him out and gave him his own home. And then he started growing wonky because I change my light sources a lot, just trying to figure out the best situation for my apartment. I only get light coming in from right here because I have sliding glass doors and I don't have actual windows in my apartment. I have one window in my bedroom that is a sliver of a window. So while I get a lot of light in the morning time, I really don't get as much, especially on this part of the house. So this is an apartment that is really small. It's 700 square feet. So whatever. The light bounces around, but truly this guy was reaching for the light and he was growing wonky. So I cut him. And now he has 2 new growth points. Yeah, 2 new growth points. You see him? Woo! Okay, this next guy I got literally 2 days ago. Also from the clearance section at Lowe's. Me in the clearance section of the plants at Lowe's. When I went this time, those plants were dead. D-E-D, dead. Anyway, so this is a philodendron ring of fire, and I liked that it came in a self-watering pot. There was so much water in the bottom of this at Lowe's. I immediately dumped it and brought it home, dumped it again. I cleared out some of the top stuff because this was soaking wet and like rotting off. So there was a leaf in there that was gross, so I snipped it off. I snipped off all the dead stuff. But I have it up under, this is a grow light. This is just a lamp with a grow light in it. And I have it like right beside that to try and dry it out before I repot. I need to get more stuff before I repot. But I think this is my first philodendron. So I'm excited about this. I really like how the leaves look. Let's hope he can bounce back and then I can really get him going. Oh my God, this is my really neglected string of hearts. Please don't look at it. Next, we have, this also came, oh my God. This also came from that same, Pearly Jade. Pearl and Jade plant. I just took these out and gave them their own pot because there was a lot of pothos in a pot, and I at the time wanted many plants and I did not have many plants. I like this one. She's just fine. Yeah. She's growing a little wonky. Oh no, these are just growing together. New growth. So yeah, she doesn't grow that wonky. But yeah, this one's doing really good actually. Now that I'm sitting here looking at it, she's not bald. Good job, girl. Good job. This is an experiment that I literally put together yesterday. I thrifted this glass thing like 9 months ago when I started doing plant stuff because I was like, I'm gonna make a terrarium. Well, I didn't make a terrarium. So I went to IKEA a couple months ago and there was, you'll see the rest of it, a Monstera adenose, whatever. And there's more to this plant than just this one. But when I went to repot it, this was just this stick and some roots. Where can you really see the roots? Some roots. A stick, this stick right here, and some roots in a dried out node. So I brought it back, repotted it, fertilized it, and that node started growing, and it grew into this leaf, and then very quickly became this leaf. So while it's still growing, I decided to put it in here. It'll have to come out eventually. I wanted to put a begonia in there, but I think the begonia was just too big. And then this is his friend. This is another one of those Pearl and Jade pothos. This actually accidentally grew out of my Monstera. I think I was repotting one time and I had just a bunch of dirt and plant pieces in front of me, and I must have scooped up a piece of pothos, and it sprouted. It sprouted a leaf, and I was really confused. I think I have a short on it, but I was really confused. I was like, how did this random pothos end up in my Monstera? So, of course, I took it out, and now he lives in this tiny little thing, and I've always just kind of had these two together. They're friends. So, yeah, that's those guys. Love them. I can't get this sticker off, so whatever. Ta-da! Don't look at the sticker. Whatever. It's my truth. That sticker's my truth. Okay, so this is like my mantle. Typically, I got my grow lights on like this. Ta-da! Ta-da! Moving on. This is my table directly beside my mantle. You can see my man right there. And before anybody, whoa, crazy lighting. Before anybody comes at me for the way that my monsteras are facing, I know I have inconsistent lighting and they're turning to the lighting and they're not front facing and they look ugly. To you, baby. I think they're nice, and I don't want to hear a word about the ways my monstera are facing. We're working on it, okay? So, watch it with love. Anyway, so this is the rest of my, oh my God, the rest of my Monstera adenosi, I think is what it says. Da, 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 da. So you can see we have 1, 2, I knew there was a third one, there it is, 3 new growth right now, new leaves coming in. Saved this puppy from IKEA, and he's treating me good. He's treating me nice. I like this guy a whole lot. We gotta fix this lighting situation. What if I bring you over here? Put you on the cat tower? That's so much better. Anyway, here's a better lighting. Yeah, some of these leaves have not uncurled from when I saved him from IKEA, but that's okay. He's giving me new growth. Yeah, I love this guy. This is one of my mini Monstera. They're all, besides that one, Deliciosa. Look, new growth. Anyway, this is one of my boys. I don't have most of my Monsteras supported. I have been going back and forth about moss poles, and I recently have discovered, hold on and I'll tell you what I discovered. I was watching this YouTuber named Fern, but I don't know what their whole like YouTube channel is called. Wild Fern is what they're called, _Wild Fern on Instagram. I've been watching their videos obsessively, and they put me on to, I found it. Okay. I have recently found out about Rosu Plant Care. I hope that's how you say it. And their moss poles. And so I think I'm gonna hold out and get one of their moss poles because I just like how they look. And some of them are on like metal bases. And so I just really want, like that's the one on the metal base. Some of them have like drippers at the top, and one of the ones that Fern was showing had like a water gauge, and so they just look so clean and so nice. So if I'm gonna do it, I want to do it right to me, and so I've been putting it off because I have like 7 Monsteras, and I don't have however much money that's gonna take, so I need to do one at a time, and I just discovered them like a week ago. So that's what I'm gonna do support wise in the future. All of these Monsteras came from the same Monstera. I just separated it. We got another one. This one's a little funky looking. Not gonna lie to you, a little funky looking on the leaf. And then I dropped this one when it was getting new growth. This was a new growth leaf and popped the head off. So we're learning. There's another big Monstera back here that I really don't want to pick up. You see it in the back there? See how I got so many Monstera all over the place? I say so many, but it's really not that many. Probably, well, whatever. Okay, I got this when I got the philodendron fire boy, whatever. This is only my second allocation. And like I got my first one like 2 weeks ago. So I'll show you the first one in a minute. But this one was so cute and it was relatively good price. This one's called Vigoro Alocasia. I don't know if that's right, but I like it. I think they need a lot of humidity, so I think I'm gonna have to figure something out with that. But yeah, I think this is also a self. It dripped on me. It dripped on me. Okay, so that's the table. Now we're gonna go to the next thing. we're gonna keep moving, keep trucking. See you in a second. I hope you can't hear my dryer. Okay, so now this is where a lot of my, I almost said Pokemon. I've been playing a lot of Pokopia. This is where a lot of my plants have been moved to. So this was my seed starting cart for my outdoor garden. This was the original, I can't even, you don't need to see the bottom tier, there's nothing on there, but this was the original purpose that I wanted to use for this cart when I got it. But then I turned it into a seed starting cart and things changed or whatever. Like I said, this is my only light source. So I wanted to be able to move this around and still be able to move my curtains. So, and it like saves space and I feel like it looks cool, I don't know. Anyway, on this top shelf, we have a Monstera, a Monstera, a Monstera, and a Monstera. Sorry, that's the top and the bottom shelf. This one's getting new growth. Can you see this tiny little nodule right here that it's getting? And then I have the rest of my, good Lord, I've talked about this like 4 times. Pearl and Jade's pothos. This is the rest of it. We got, I just saw new growth somewhere. Oh, right there. There's a little piece coming out. Anyway, and then I have this satin something pothos. And then back here, can you see him? You know what? I'll turn the thing on wheels. And then I got this snake plant. So up here I have Monstera snake plant, Monstera, pothos. And then on the second shelf, we'll turn this around. Same as with the philodendron and with the alocasia, I got this begonia something. I don't even think this is right. But anyway, it was flowering right now, which is really nice and really pretty. So this is one of my new boys. This is what I wanted to put in that dome, but it was just too big. So I think maybe when I repot it, if I can get it to fit in there, I may. But otherwise, I know this one needs a lot of humidity too. I'm figuring it out. More pothos that I'm trying to let grow. This one has a couple sprouts, just little babies. This is what I call my Frankenpothos, which is just a bunch of cuttings from all of the pothos that I have shown you so far, which is why everybody has new growth coming in. Some of them, last I checked, had roots, some of them did not. No, it's damp, it's okay. So yeah, where's this guy? I forgot to show you that guy. Hold on, look, he's hanging right there. This is a Hawaiian pothos. He was hanging up, so I forgot about him. But he's real pretty. Got some new growth from where I gave him a little trim. Let's see, what else is under here? Oh, I got my string of bananas. They used to be a lot fuller and I neglected, so at least we're getting another string up here. We're starting to do better. String of bananas. This is another, there's 2 pothos down here. No, not pothos, monsteras. Oh, this monstera I'm particularly have been proud of because I got gifted this at Christmas by my boss. And they gave a pothos to everybody. And when I got it, it had no drainage holes and it had no roots. And I repotted it and it's been real good. And I checked the other day. There's a little bit of root coming out of this hole. So I'm real proud of this guy. He hasn't got any more leaves, but obviously like the rootage has been going good since January. So I'm hoping soon that maybe he'll split off and start getting a new leaf. This plant, it might be dying, like straight up. Yeah, I think it's dying because it's turning black. I took this one from my parents' house. My stepmother, I saw it on the shelf and I was like, have you watered this plant ever? And she said, just take it. So it's a succulent, but it's really turning black at the bottom. So I haven't repotted it. Its soil doesn't look great. So I don't know if this one's gonna make it. Maybe I should cut and try to propagate somehow, but it's okay if it doesn't make it. I'm not as emotionally attached to this one since it came from my parents' house. So that's the cart. She lives, like I said, in front of my sliding glass door. It gets a lot of light in the morning and then kind of dissipates as the day goes on. One last look at her. And then my last plant is one that I got for $12.99 from the Lidl. Look at this. This is the first alocasia I got. It's a little damaged on the leaf, but like $12.99. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. I think it's meant for outside. It needs some humidity, I think. I think it also needs to be watered. But like, dude, I hope I can keep this one alive. The alocasias are the newest to the family, and I'm very intimidated by alocasias, to be 100% with you. Monsteras, let's go. Pothos, let's go. My money plants and my peperomias, I'm figuring it out, but I think we're rocking and we're rolling. Money trees, let's go. My alocasias, we're taking it one step at a time. We're not running. We're figuring it out. But yeah, that was my plant tour. I hope you enjoyed. If you like, leave a comment and subscribe. If you like, leave a comment and subscribe. Have a good day. Go buy a plant. Mwah.